Okay, that's the video for January 22nd, 2015. Another really bad day for me in the trading the euro dollar. So I already had a pretty decent loss yesterday, and today I lost even more. Now I'm back to actually, I gave back everything I made over the last 2 months, and then some a little bit, not much, but still a little bit. I'm not even counting ticks anymore because I'm not going to explain every single trades one by one, because at some point I'm so kind of like, I guess, mentally affected by this trend that I'm not thinking really clearly. So there's no, I mean, there's still some kind of reasoning behind every trade, but okay, let's go over them. So the ECB was a big announcement at 8:30. Yeah, they came a little late, so it's 8:45. They said they were going to, as planned, they said they were going to do quantitative easing, so basically print money. It was expected by the market, but what was not expected is by how much. I think they said they were going to buy 60 billion or something. They were expecting 50. Well, regardless, I don't care so much about news. I care about reactions. But the thing is that, okay, so the market starts selling off, and if you look at this, you're like, how stupid was I to try to buy it all the way down? The reason was, basically, it really came down to the first two trades. That's what made me have a bad day. If it wasn't for these two, it would have actually been a profitable day. Not, I mean, it would have been a stressful one, because obviously fighting a trend that wouldn't stop, but still. So what happened is that I saw that bar. This bar, it sold off, and then it came back up, closed positive on big volume. So I'm like, whoa, I guess we want to go up. I really thought so. I was like, I guess we want to go up. It sold off after that on much less volume, then another green bar, and I'm like, whoa, if it comes back down to around this area, I'm going to buy, expecting a bounce, right? Because at this point, I mean, when you look here, you're like, okay, well, it sold off, but it bounced hard, and then now it's trying to like contest the bottom. So I was like, I'm gonna enter here. So I do that, and of course I know the market's fast, and I don't add 10 pips right away. So I mean, I should have added a little bit further down, at least 20 pips something, but I don't add 10 pips later. Even though if I did my typical 10 pips, I would have actually come out of this for a 10 pip profit. But okay, whatever. I don't add because I'm caught off guard, and I get stressed out, and like, well, I guess it does want to come down after all. So then it comes back. I'm even like slightly positive. I think I even had like 7 or 8 ticks on that one. It didn't fill my 10 pip trade. And I disregarded the volume. It came back up, but volume was bad. So really, and plus those two bars. I mean, those three really big red bars on. Anyways, I don't know why. I kind of like, I was thinking, as soon as I thought, okay, it wants to come back up, I didn't really let it go until it was too late. Until I was like way down, and then I was like, well, I'm not gonna go short now. It's definitely overdone. But anyways, let's go trade by trade. So then I'm like, okay, now it's coming back up, good green bar. It's probably pulling back for another leg up, so I add here, and now it doesn't pull back. It doesn't pull back. Then I'm like, I think I was looking at the measured move here. For some reason I entered at 44. So basically those two trades, that's a big bad entry. I mean, it turned out to be a bad entry, that was, but you think about these two trades, that's really what got me in trouble for the rest of the day, because then this, I wouldn't say it's probably not necessarily such a wise trade because of the being against such a strong trend, but that was a positive trade. That was a 10 pip, even 11 pip trade. Then I kind of panicked. I was like taking like 3 or 4 pips, but basically those mini trades here, they're like almost irrelevant, but they are still positive trades. Another 95 to 05, another 10 pip. The problem is that even though I'm taking small wins here, I have those two entries from the beginning that I'm carrying for like minus 100 plus pips at some point. See, this was like 1510. This, yeah, I'm down 100 pips on the first one and almost 100 on the second one. So this is another one, and then I decide to sell. To, like, this was a EMA, so I'm like, okay, I need to. I think at that point I had 3 positions. By the way, the whole day I was on half position. Thank God, because otherwise I would have probably lost double that much. I decided to start, getting rid of some of my position here, and here I thought it was going to keep going up too, and it didn't. I'm like, okay, well, it's forming a nice bottom. Let me buy it again. I buy, nothing happened. But even then, I mean, nothing happened. It keeps going down. Goes down for quite a bit, but then bounces, and I think I get 10 pips off that one too. 59 to 64, not quite. And the thing is that basically, so that was already pretty bad. I already had like $300 worth of losses because of those 2 entries here, which are the only really negative trades. Everything else was positive to some extent. Besides, also there was one that I kept. Well, since I do first in, first out, I guess they're going to keeping this one. And I kept it overnight, stupidly enough. I figured, yeah, it's gonna come back, like, because it's oversold, like minus 2% thing. Something was like this, something like minus 2%. I was like, I'd never seen that in forex, besides the Swiss disaster last week, but not in the euro. I've never seen something like this. But basically, yeah. So I keep it overnight, and sure enough, it thank God I had to stop at 113. I lose another. So basically, it's like, if that was like the first one, it's like basically 200 pips from the more than 200 pips from the first from my first entry. Yeah. So anyways, really bad day. But if anything, I mean, I learned that my whole idea of using mental stops is not really that effective, considering that when you really get caught on the wrong side and you start panicking, you don't really do what you plan to. So this is what it's basically, I learned something. I'm always going to have stops in place at this point, like hard stops in place. I'm going to honor them, even if sometimes yeah, it kind of sucks, because you take your stop, usually you take it at some kind of resistance or support, and that's where it bounces. Still, you gotta have a stop, because again, not only not having stops, not honoring my mental stops, not only that lost me money, but the worst is that, which is even worse than losing money. I mean, well, it's not worse than losing money, but the other thing, on top of losing money, I failed to make money. I could have made a ton of money on this trend. There were so many opportunities to make money on this trend. But anyways, that was it. So yeah, I'll be back at it, and I'll just I need to keep the focus and just bounce. Like, I knew it was gonna happen at some point. This whole like mental stop thing. I have to say, I was kind of worried. When I was watching my trades, I was like, oh, one day there's gonna be a trend that doesn't look back, and I'm gonna keep adding, and it's not gonna be pretty. Yeah. Anyways.